Welcome back to the channel. I'm Kat Parker, and today I'm going to be doing a little pre-cruise video to let you know what we have coming up on our next adventure. As I stated at the end of the Carnival Jubilee video, we're going to be headed out to Miami to go on a 5-day cruise on the Carnival Sunrise. Okay, y'all, I am so excited to be sailing on this ship. It has been 10 full years since me and my kids last sailed on this ship. Back then it was called the Carnival Triumph, and if you don't already know, Carnival Triumph was refurbished in 2019 and then relaunched and renamed Carnival Sunrise. Now everyone has heard about the infamous poop cruise of 2013. There was an accidental fire that disabled the primary generator's electricity supply. There was limited lighting, but most importantly, there was no functioning toilets because the electric powered vacuum system that pumps out all of the waste broke. All of the overflowing toilets resulted in this cruise ship being named the Poop Cruise. So we last sailed on the Carnival Triumph in May of 2015, about 2 years after the infamous Poop Cruise. And when my friend had me book their family's group cruise on the Sunrise and they invited us to go along, I was kind of curious to see all the new changes, so I went on and decided to go ahead and book and join them. In this video, I'm going to take a trip down memory lane so that you can see the Carnival Triumph and what it used to look like before the reno in 2019. And when I do my Carnival Sunrise vlog, you'll be able to see what a huge $20 million refurbishment looks like. I'll also show you a few of the essentials that I always pack with me whenever I cruise, so all of you first-time cruisers know what us veteran cruisers take along with us to make a more enjoyable and comfortable cruise. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video so that you can see all of the little knickknacks that I bring that I use to create little hacks that ensure all of my cruises are a success. I'll also tag the links to where I bought these items in the description box below. All right, let's hop in the Wayback Machine and take a look at some of the videos and photos that I took on Carnival Triumph before Vacation Cat the channel was even a thought in my head. Okay, the original Carnival Triumph launched back in 1999, and to me, even by 2015 standards, it was really dated and old-fashioned looking. It did have the features like the seaside theater. It had a arcade, a casino, there were a few pools, and it did have lots of bars. It did not have the Cloud9 spa or the thermal suites. There was a sauna though, and a steam room and showers, and back then passengers used to be able to access it for free. There was only one water slide in their waterworks area, but it didn't have like the little dumping water buckets that come down in that little area for the little ones. There was no ropes course on it, but I mean, it kept the kids busy. If you ask my son, he would have thought he was at Slitterbahn with how much fun he had on that one little tired slide. The Sunrise now, though, I believe has 2, so that's an upgrade.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, my head! That was fun.
There were still plenty of fun deck games that they do now on the Lido deck. And back then, my daughter and I, we even participated in the mummy toilet paper contest that was on Mother's Day, and we actually won.
Okay, so right now,
Final couple of contestants. What is your name? Katrina and Kashana. Where are you guys from?
Round Rock, Texas.
Nice, Round Rock, Texas. That's what I heard. I'm not quite sure. All right. Do you have anything to say to your mum?
Happy Mother's Day.
18 years so far and you're still standing. Nice job. Alright, give it up for these guys. You think they should stay in the competition? Are you guys waiting as well, or is this our last set? I think this is our last set right here, which means it is you guys or it is these guys who have been holding the fort. We have right here once again, we have Anita, we have Adriana, we have the little one joining us, Viviana. Give it up if you think these guys are the champions. Oh, man, I think it goes without saying. Thank you guys so much for entering. You have a wonderful Mother's Day, but right now, Chris has a whole set of prizes for you guys. We're going to get you some champagne.
Now, back in 2015, I was balling on a budget. I had one kid that was in her first year of college. So unlike the cabins that I book now, we were just in an ocean view cabin. And boy, looking back now, that cabin was so 70s and drab all the way down to the pink bathroom tiles. And it had me thinking, like, was this really 2015? I had to go back and look at the dates on my photos and videos. Like, who thought that was a good look back in 1999? Anyway, we made the best of it. My kids got a thrill out of sitting in the window and gazing out into the ocean. And luckily for me, they were easy to please back then. And speaking of easy to please back then, we booked the 5-day cruise out of Galveston, and this cruise went to Progreso and Cozumel. I could never get them into water like this now, but back then they didn't know any better. Even though I had already taken them to both Atlantis and Florida, they thought that all the water in Mexico just looked this way. Needless to say, I do not book Progreso itineraries anymore, because I didn't even like being in that water. So what we ended up doing is spending more time at the resort's pool. My daughter, she proceeded to get tipsy for the first time since she could drink at 18 in Mexico. And my son, not my baby, he had a blast in their pool.
Annie? Okay, good.
Oh, look at my baby. They were so sweet back then. Now they're just cranky adults that won't make me any grandchildren to spoil, and so I'm just stuck. Going to Cozumel, that was a hit though. I took them over to Playa Mia, and even though a lot of the properties amenities weren't in operation at the time, they still had a great time. They spent most of the time in their little inflatable obstacle course that was in the water. That was a lot of fun. They had water pedal boats and kayaks, and this was actually my kids' first introduction into snorkeling in deep water. All in all, that was a great day, and I was so glad that they enjoyed their first trips into Mexico. One of the things I will say was actually better back then was the included food options. On the Triumph, we thought, now that I think back, the food was much better in the main dining room, even for the smaller ships that I've been on. Something changed or happened after the pandemic where the main dining room food is a little off to me. Back then, if I can recall, Camry, he ate pizza and swirls ice cream every day, all day until he burst. And my daughter, Kishana, she really liked the blue iguana. and Guy's Burgers. So we're going to see if the burgers and pizza on this ship are just as good as they were before. I have zero hope for the main dining room, however. It wasn't even that great to me when I sailed on the Carnival Jubilee, and that was a really, really nice ship. It's in their Excel class, and thank God for all of the other food venues because those were really good. So I already know that just coming off the Carnival Jubilee a few months ago, that Carnival Sunrise is going to seem like a tad bit of a letdown. But going online and looking at some of the videos and pictures, I was really impressed by what I saw. There's a lot of reviews regarding the smell, and I'm leaning toward believing that a lot of that is just figments of people's imagination. I was on that ship with my children 2 years after the poop cruise incident. We stayed on a lower floor because we were in an ocean view, and I don't remember smelling anything. But apparently now, 10 years later, there are supposed to be sewage smells flowing intermittently from decks 9 and 10 near the spa and the gym area. Where am I located? Deck 10 in a spa balcony. So we're going to see. I believe that if you go into a situation with preconceived notions, that sometimes your mind can make you think that you're experiencing or smelling something that you're really not. Or maybe it does smell stinky occasionally, but who's to say that isn't from something that normally happens on every cruise ship from time to time? I'm going to have a ball regardless, poop smells or not. Now, lastly, I want to share a few things with you that I learned over the years of stuff to pack with me on a cruise. Back when I first started cruising, I think my first ever cruise was on the Carnival Ecstasy, and that ship was retired in like 2022. It's so old. But I used to just throw some clothes in my suitcase and my regular personal hygiene stuff and just get aboard. As I started cruising more and more often and on different cruise lines, I started picking up a little tricks and hacks from other cruisers. And so I'm going to show you a few of the things that I pack now to make my cruising experience a little bit more enjoyable. Okay, now, number one, I have to have my motion sickness patches. I get my primary care physician to prescribe me some scopolamine patches, or I toss a box of these little babies here that I get from Amazon in my medicine bag. I don't get seasick every day, but the days that the captain is hauling ass back to Texas or to Florida and I happen to be on a higher floor, I start feeling the rocking in my cabin at night. And I also get a tad bit nauseous when I'm back on land. And then I just go right into an excursion that's in the ocean. So I always put mine on behind my ear on the night of embarkation. And these Amazon ones are a little less strength as the prescription, so I would put one behind my ear and above my navel, and these are usually good for me for about 24 hours, whereas when I put these patches on, they last for 3 days. And by having it on the day before, it's already in my body, and by the time I get on the ship, I'm good to go. And just a little side note, they also prevent me from getting a hangover on the nights that I choose to go ham and just get all messed up. If you prefer something in the pill form over putting a patch on your skin, you can always ask your PCP to write you a prescription for onidestron, or you can pick up some onidestron in your port of call, or you can just go to your local store and grab you some Bonine. I find these to be hit or miss for me. Even though people say that they prefer Bonine over Dramamine, they seem to make me drowsy anyway, and they don't work as well as the patches, in my opinion, but to each his own. Second, I pop these little guys here on my luggage in case it's raining, which it often is when I leave out of Florida. These things, they keep your bag tags nice and dry. They help prevent lost luggage when like the paper that you attach on there rips off your bag by accident and the porters and loaders don't know where your luggage goes. I also print my luggage tags in color, and that way it's easier for them to see what deck it goes on when they get loaded onto the ship. Item number 3, these handy little personal straws. They allow you to use these for all of your beverages that the bartenders serve you on the ship. They have a little extendable metal straw in here with a device that you can clean that straw with when you're done. And while I do like Carnival's candy straws, after a while when you're having those sugary drinks, you get tired of the taste of that candy straw. And so by having these little guys, you can carry around your own straw, since they're not going to give you plastic or paper straws most of the time. Item number 4, I have these cute little lanyards so that I no longer have to buy the expensive cruise line lanyards to put my key card in. For Princess Cruise Line, I have these little lanyards and these little formal chains that I got off of Amazon to hold your medallion in, that are actually a little pretty device that you can have on like a necklace on formal night. Now, while these lanyards of this type are a hassle in the casino, what you could do is you can switch to the regular lanyard if you get them to punch a hole in your card, or you could punch a hole in your card. Just be sure not to do it over any barcodes or anything. Or you might just have the type that you could just slip out and stick it in the machine and then put it back in. But I usually switch to something of that type if I know I'm going to be in the casino for a long time, because after a while pulling it in and out of this one begins to be a little bit of a hassle. Now, moving inside the cabin, I pack these heavy duty magnets that I use, and I just stick them to the side of the walls of my cabin, and those ships where the cabin is metal. And that way I can hang things like hats and bags to kind of keep my space a little more organized. Also, I don't dry my wet clothes in the bathroom showers on those strings. I take these towel bands with me, and I place my wet clothes in the chairs on my balcony, and then wrap these towel bands around it so everything that doesn't blow away. And by morning, all of my stuff, my swimsuits, my wet shorts and stuff, are usually dry and ready to pack in a laundry bag, so you don't have to take wet clothes home with you after a cruise. Now, speaking of the towel bands, I usually bring one of my own personal towels from home so that I can recognize my chair, my lounger, from far away, since everyone is going to probably have a towel that looks the same. And then I use the towel band in the way it was intended, and that way my towel doesn't blow away, but I can also spot my seat from far away. And if my daughter is looking for me and I happen to went to the bar or something, she knows that that's my spot, because she knows I've had the same beach towel for years. The next item is I always bring with me 2 chargeable fans. I have one of this style for my room in case the air conditioning isn't that strong, and then I have this other little guy here for my excursions, or when I'm on deck, or when I'm in the Galveston cruise terminal waiting and there's super long lines. Thank goodness I was able to get faster to the fun this time. It seems like it's always sold out, but on this cruise it's still available, and we're like 2 weeks out. So I don't know, that's makes me kind of worried. Now, for your excursions, when you have beach days like we're going to have at Half Moon Cay and Celebration Key, I take along some rolled up floaties like this kind, and that way I don't have to rent the tubes and floaties that they have on the beach at all of the private islands. Unfortunately, you cannot use them for your kids in the pools on the ship, but you can use them in the ocean. And that one, it has a nice size canopy for the sun. It has cup holders so that I can get tipsy while I'm floating around in the ocean. And then to blow them up, I found this little tiny rechargeable air inflator. It's so neat. It was under $10. It has all kinds of attachments so that it can blow up various different types of inflatables. You can use it even in your home. If you have an air mattress you want to blow up, it deflates it when you're done, so you can roll it up and put it back in your beach bag and get back on the ship. And that would have came in handy when I was in Vegas, because I found out that even though I took my floaties, that they wouldn't let you use your electric inflators to blow up the tubes. And so you had to either do it by mouth, or you had to pay them $10 to blow up your own flotation device. It's crazy. Okay, if you're a person that is good or okay with filtered water that's on the ship, always pack a water bottle. It doesn't have to be one as big as this size, but I always take a metal lined water bottle, and sometimes a really nice bartender will fill it up with ice water for you. But if not, there's always plenty of water stations to fill it with water and ice, and then you just carry it with you when you go off the ship on port days, and you can always stay hydrated instead of looking for a water fountain or praying that it's good filtered water. Okay, next tip and a hack. If you're one of those people and you do happen to smell some sewage smells in your room, or you're sharing a cabin with someone and you're worried about you have to use the restroom, that they go in and then they smell it, or you left your toilet lid up by mistake, and then now the smell from the toilet is flowing through the bathroom in the room, I take these little Glade small spaces and I pop one in the bathroom. You can set one out on your vanity, and they have these little cute little VI poos that you can take, the travel size, and you can have these in the bathroom so that you can spray, or your partner can spray that. And I've even seen where some people, they take their fan if they feel like the smell is constant, and they clip one of these little Glade car air fresheners to the front of the fan, and then when you turn it on, then it blows the smell into the room and the bathroom on a continuous basis, so that you don't have to worry about smelling any of the previous cruise smells. And moving along, these little cubed multi-outlets are a lifesaver, and I've never had it confiscated from me by Royal Caribbean or Princess or Carnival, but each cruise line is different, so please check for your cruise before you pack it so that it doesn't get taken from you. But I'm one of those people that I take all of my devices and cameras, so a little guy like this really comes in handy. Most modern cruise ships do have plenty of outlets and USB ports, but if you're on an older ship, sometimes they're not equipped with those, and so having one of these guys gives everybody a way to charge their devices. And lastly, I started taking some disposable shower caps with me. Not these shower caps, but these shower caps. And what I learned to do with those is, when I take food either from the buffet or, like, say, the Pizza Pirate, I use the disposable shower covers to cover my plate and walk it to my cabin. food venues are starting to close earlier and earlier on these cruise line these days. And I work nights, so I'm a night person, and sometimes I need a snack late at night. And I don't always want to use room service because they all have upcharges now. So this way I can get things that don't need to be heated up later, like slices of pizza or deli meats and cheeses, and I can pop it in the little mini fridge. I can even take a little plate of dessert that I can eat if I want to snack on something sweet later on in my room and enjoy it at any time of the night. Well, wish me luck. I'm sailing out in exactly 2 weeks, and I'm so looking forward to hanging out with my sister and my daughter and some friends, some new friends, old friends. And when I return, I'm going to tell you guys all about Celebration Key, Carnival's new private island that just opened up this July. I'll tell you about Half Moon Cay and Grand Turk, where I'm going to be snorkeling at their Great Wall, and we're going to be going to Gibbs Cay to interact with some stingrays. So be sure to turn on notifications so you can check out those videos when they come out. And as usual, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Until next time, bye.